Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Yesterday I had posted a quiz or a poll where I had asked how the Lagna Lord versus the Nakshatra Lord in your horoscopes when placed in certain placements from each other may give what kind of results, and had asked you when they are placed in certain combinations or in certain placements versus each other where they can give the toughest challenges, and a number of people had also responded to that. And in light of that, I am going to talk to you about the 5 combinations we talked in that poll. Actually, I'm not allowed to give you more than 5 options in that poll, so only 5 are allowed. So I generally give you which are closest and not so easy to decipher as well, which also helps you to be able to sharpen your skills, especially if you are learning astrology or you want to get in depth about your placements in your horoscopes as well. So let's deep dive into it to understand how the Lagna Lord versus Nakshatra Lord's placement in your horoscopes may throw out different possibilities for you. But before you go on, one request to you is that if you are a regular viewer of my channel, a regular viewer of my videos, or even if you have come to this video for the first time, if you find that my videos are helpful, they help you to understand your placements much better, they help you to decipher your horoscope better, to be able to answer important questions in your life and to reach certain conclusions, to get to certain solutions, then please help YouTube also promote these videos to a larger audience, because when you subscribe to my channel, when you like or share a video, then YouTube also helps promote their video to more people, and through helping YouTube promote that video, help others also be able to understand their placements better, answer questions in their life, and to be able to lead better lives. Through that, you will also get good karma. So don't lose this opportunity to add some positive karma in your life. We all need good karma. So please go ahead, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and please share this video as well. Now, when you look at the Nakshatra Lord in the horoscope, now what is the Nakshatra Lord? Yesterday, a few people asked me Nakshatra Lord of the ascendant or the Nakshatra Lord where moon is placed. Take it for granted, the moment somebody says your Nakshatra Lord, your horoscope's Nakshatra Lord, it is always meant to be the Lord of the Nakshatra where moon is placed in your horoscope. The Nakshatra Lord where the ascendant is placed is an additional thing which may give you an additional combination, an additional permutation. But your Nakshatra Lord of your horoscope is always that Nakshatra Lord in which Nakshatra the moon is placed at the time of your birth. So in your horoscope where the placements of different planets are given, see which Nakshatra moon is placed, or that Nakshatra's Lord is your Nakshatra Lord for your horoscope. To make it very easier, the first dasha that your horoscope is telling you that you were born in, that is your Nakshatra Lord, because wherever moon is placed in whichever Nakshatra, the dasha that you first hit or that you are born in is the Nakshatra of that Lord in which Nakshatra moon is placed at the time of your birth. So just to make things clear for those people who are still confused. Now getting to the topic, how the Lagna Lord versus Nakshatra Lord in a horoscope may throw out different possibilities. One of the combinations I had given was when both of them are conjunct. However, before we get to when both the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are conjunct, what if they are the same? Then it is as good as they being conjunct. So when the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are the same, this is an extremely powerful combination, and it gives a huge strength, because now the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are also same. But the Nakshatra Lord is also about what is your carry forward karma, where is the karmic debt, or what is the karma for your life also. And that's why moon is placed in that Nakshatra, which means at the DNA level which the Nakshatras represent, you have a certain responsibility, a certain duty. So when the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are same, it means that you have been given a huge duty basis where the Lagna Lord is placed, which planet is the Lagna Lord, and in which Nakshatra it is placed at the time of your birth. All these play an important part in how your life will be disseminated, what will be manifested in your life. Say for example, if let's take the Aries, the Kalpurush Kundli as an example. Mars is the Lagna Lord. Now if Moon is placed in the Nakshatra which belongs to Mars, then Mars becomes a Nakshatra Lord as well. So now wherever Mars is placed, there is this very strong responsibility and duty towards that particular area. But which are the houses that Mars rules? Mars rules the Lagna, obviously being the Lagna Lord, but here for an Aries ascendant native, it also rules the 8th house, which means in trying to get to your goals, in trying to achieve your goals, which Mars represents, but here Mars is also the Nakshatra Lord, in trying to overcome your karmic baggage and also trying to give off your karmic debt. The 8th house effects of challenges, upheavals, tribulations may also come by. On the other hand, if your Lagna Lord is Jupiter, being the Sagittarius ascendant native, and Jupiter also rules the 4th house then, and if the Nakshatra Lord and the Lagna Lord is same, both being Jupiter, so here because it is the Lord of two Kendra houses, then the positive elements will also come in. However, because Jupiter is also the Nakshatra Lord here while being the Lagna Lord, so the 1st and the 4th house dissemination will also come in, which means you will have to be somebody who is very wise in how you handle challenges of the lives, how you get to goals of the lives, and also how you are able to handle your domestic affairs, how you are able to make assets. So in trying to get to the goals of life and in how you are able to handle the domestic life, your family, you will have to show extreme wisdom. You will have to learn from the higher learning and the experiences which trying to get to goals is going to throw at you. In trying to handle things better at home is going to throw at you. So yeah, positive results may come in because two Kendras are getting involved here by virtue of Jupiter ruling two Kendra houses and being the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord. So whichever the houses the Nakshatra Lord and the Lagna Lord rules, for example, for a Taurus ascendant native, Venus is the Lagna Lord and Venus rules both the 1st house as well as the 6th house. And if Venus is also the Nakshatra Lord and say Venus is placed in the 10th house of career, then here both the results of the Lagna as well as the 6th house may come in, but they may come in very strongly, which means you may be able to do very well in your life also, especially related to work, in an environment where you are able to bring more creativity into your work, more sophistication, more refinement in your work also. But to be able to achieve the goals of work and related to work, you will have to focus on overcoming huge challenges, huge inimical forces which the 6th house throws at you. So remember, when the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are the same, the house rulership will also count, which houses they are placed will count, very strong manifestations will count, but also remember that there will be a lot of challenges, much more challenges if you are able to overcome it, because the karmic baggage, the karmic debt is also involved here, but huge gains will also come from this position. On the other hand, if they are not the same but they are conjunct, say for example in the Kalpurush Kundli, Mars is the Lagna Lord and say Jupiter is the Nakshatra Lord and Mars is placed in the 5th house in the sign of Leo. Here Mars is placed in the 5th house and is placed with the 9th Lord Jupiter, which is also the Nakshatra Lord. So here better quality of results may come in, better gains will come in, because the 5th house and the 9th house are related here, because Mars is placed in the 5th house and with the 9th Lord Jupiter. Here I am talking about Jupiter having Sagittarius energies of the 9th house. However, Mars also rules the 1st house and the 8th house, and Jupiter also rules the 12th house. So in the 5th house, in trying to achieve education, in trying to handle matters related to your career or ups and downs in your career, in trying to deal with matters of education, higher learning, going abroad, it won't be easy. You'll have to fight for it. You'll have to overcome a lot of challenges. But if you are creative, if you put your mind and heart and your soul to it, then you can achieve great results. So depending on the conjunct planets are in what relation to each other, that will also play a part here, because Mars and Jupiter are friendly to each other, ruling good houses, placed in a good trine house, so better relations, better results. However, for example, in the same Kalpurush Kundli, Mars is the Lagna Lord and it is placed with Mercury, which rules the 6th house here, while Mercury is the Nakshatra lord, and say now Mars and Mercury are placed in the 11th house. So Mercury here being the Nakshatra lord and being the 6th house ruler, 6th house is also the Bhrigu bhav, where there is a karmic debt, stronger karmic debt, which means you have to serve. You have to serve more to overcome the karmic debt, but you also have to overcome a lot of competition, a lot of inimical forces. You have to fight for what you need to achieve. And because Mars and Mercury are placed in the 11th house, so there will be a lot of work that you will have to do at an organizational level, but also getting related to a cause which is helping larger society, getting connected to larger societal level causes, to be able to do more, to serve more at a society level, do something which serves the masses. Then 11th house, the house of wishes and desires, will help you to achieve all your wishes and desires, more name for you, more fame for you, and being able to think in a very sharp, in analytical way, because Mercury is very sharp, very analytical, and Mars is the planet of achievement, of goals. Mercury in the Kalpurush Kundli, in the Aries Ascendant Kundli, also rules the 3rd house of communication. So somebody is very sharp, very witty, but somebody will have to think before they speak, because otherwise that there is a tendency that you may be misunderstood. So you are sharp, you are witty, you are able to address issues very, very acutely and to the point. If you get into a challenge, this placement will tell you that let's keep on, let's not stop work, let's keep on going, and we will solve problems on the go, but using a logic and with a practicality. And that's the strong coming together of Mars and Mercury energies. However, a lot of hard work to be able to overcome the challenges of the 6th house, doing more service, giving more, fighting more for your causes before you achieve ultimate success. So depending on how the conjunction is coming together of the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord, which houses they are placed in, that kind of either goodwill, goodness, benefits may come in, but also challenges and turbulations and issues may also come in. Now if the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are in 1-7 placement to each other, where if one is in the 1st house, the other is in the 7th house, one is in the 2nd house, the other is in the 8th house, one is in the 4th house, the other is in the 10th house, then what kind of results may come to you? Wherever your Lagna Lord is placed, you will have to get achievements in that area, achievements of that houses it rules and where it is placed. Wherever the Nakshatra Lord is placed, because they are now 1-7 to each other, then complementary forces will be coming in to help getting the goals that you are aligned to as a Lagna Lord, or also to create challenges and issues, especially if the Nakshatra Lord is inimical to the Lagna Lord. So again, let's go to the Kalpurush Kundli to keep it easy. Mars is the Lagna Lord, and if the Nakshatra Lord is Mercury, to use the earlier example, and if now Mars is placed in the 4th house where Mercury is placed in the 10th house, Mercury for a Kalpurush Kundli is an inimical planet to the Lagna Lord. So Mercury is inimical to Mars here. So if Mars goes into the 4th house, Mercury goes into the 10th house. So Mars is focused on the 4th house, which means that even at work you will be very focused to be able to give a better life to your family. You are focused on your family in trying to achieve more, to build more assets, to make a comfortable life for your family. You will be very focused. You will want to achieve more, to do more for the family, to make your life more peaceful, to make your life more happy. However, you have to contend with very practical decisions, very logical decisions at work, because Mercury is gone into the 10th house. So if you allow the emotions to get the better of you rather than having a very tactful, very unemotional, very logical perspective at work, and that's the approach to work, then there may be more challenges, more issues. Your over analytical nature, your paralysis by analysis nature may in fact put a spoke in the wheel or put a hurdle in your ability to reach your goal. So if the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are friendly to each other, then it excellent complementary forces where one is adding to the energy of the other, helping you to achieve. However, if they are inimical to each other, then there will be more challenges of whatever the Nakshatra Lord is, whatever energies it brings in, that energy will become a challenge where you have to overcome it. However, because they are 1-7 to each other, which also means they are Kendra to each other, which means that there will be some positivity which will also come in rather than complete negativity. For example, if the Lagna Lord goes into the 8th house, if Lagna Lord is Mars, whereas the Nakshatra Lord gets into the 2nd house. So while trying to achieve results, you will be overcoming challenges, you have to overcome obstacles of the 8th house. Yet the karmic debts that you need to give up is of the 2nd house, of doing something more for the family, doing more for the dependents, doing more for the community, helping save money, keeping a tight lid on your savings because your expenses may go overboard, and trying to do more for the community and save more, and help somebody also earn their livelihood because the Nakshatra Lord is gone into the 2nd house. So whenever the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord are in 1-7 placement to each other, be more mindful of what are the energies which are coming in, which houses they rule, and what is the karmic debt or the baggage that you need to give up wherever the Nakshatra Lord is placed, and how the complementary forces are either helping you or challenging you. And that is the result of when the Nakshatra Lord and the Lagna Lord are in 1-7 placement to each other. Now when they get into Kendra to each other, which means if one is in the 1st house, the other is in the 4th house. If one is in the 2nd house, the other is in the 5th house. So they are either placed, one is placed 4th, 7th or 10th to the other, wherever they are placed. If one is in the 3rd house, then the other is in the 6th house. So they are in Kendra to each other, where the other planet is 4th, 7th or 10th to each other. Now if they are in 4th or the 10th position to each other, then it is a better placement rather than a 1-7 placement to each other, where there are complementary forces but they are also balancing forces. Whereas where they are 1-4 to each other or 1-10 to each other, they are in Kendra to each other, but there is no direct influence on each other, but there is more positivity which is brought into the energy rather than trying to tug at each other's energies or trying to give each other's energies and to share energies, which 1-7 relationship may bring in, especially if they are both friendly planets. If the planets which are Kendra to each other both are benefic planets, then huge benefic results will come to you because they are trying to help each other and synergize results for each other, being in Kendra to each other. However, if one is malefic to the other, then there will be still better results, but there will also be challenges thrown in the house that the planet is placed. Let's take the example, say for example, of a Cancer ascendant native where Moon is the Lagna Lord. Now for a Cancer ascendant native, both Mercury as well as Venus are inimical planets. So if Moon goes into the 4th house, for example, in the Libra sign, and Venus now gets into the 7th house in the Capricorn sign, so here they are in 1-4 relation to each other and they are in Kendra to each other. Moon has gone into the sign of Libra, which is the sign ruled by Venus. So the attachment of Moon, the Lagna Lord here, is to relations, to connections, whereas Venus has gone into the 7th house where it has a lot of strength, but it has gone into the sign of Capricorn, which means the connections will have to be made at work, and that is your karma, because the Capricorn sign also has the natural 10th house sign energies, which is the karmic energies. So here Moon has gone into the relationship sign of Libra, so strong connections have to be made, and the connections because of Venus getting into the Capricorn sign into the 7th house, it has to be done at work and in a team environment, which the 7th house represents. So very strong partnerships can come about, but you have to work stronger with a team. You can't hoard appreciation here and you can't hoard or demand acknowledgement here. Only when you work with teams, only when you establish strong connections at work will you do better. However, Moon going into the 4th house also means let go of the emotional upheavals which the Moon's placement in the 4th house can throw at you. Sometimes family can also throw those challenges and upheavals at you. However, if you are able to contend with the family issues with Moon placed in the 4th house, establish connections, not allow emotional upheavals or emotional challenges to get the better of you, but make strong connections at work, then Moon and Venus being in 1 and 4 relation to each other, or maybe 1 and 10 relation to each other, can give you excellent results in spite of one being inimical to the other. So the Lagna Lord and the Nakshatra Lord being 1-4 or 1-7 or 1-10 placement from each other are slightly better placement rather than challenges. If you have this placement, then make use to your advantage. Now if the Nakshatra Lord and the Lagna Lord are both in the Dusthanas, Now, in the Dusthanas could mean that one is in its own sign, one can be in a friendly sign, one can even be in an exaltation sign. So, a planet goes into the Dusthana always doesn't mean challenges. However, even if it is own sign, yet because it is in the Dusthana, those areas of the Dusthanas will come up. So, if moon is placed in the Cancer sign, in the 6th house, for an Aquarius ascendant native, where moon says the Nakshatra lord also. So being in the 6th house, that challenge will surely come up, which means you may do very well at service. You may have a strong attachment to service. You may also be able to contribute more. You may be able to overcome competition also. However, competition will always raise its head. You will have to fight emotional challenges, frustrations in service, not being able to get quicker and getting to a higher growth. So you have to contend with that. However, if you are able to keep your emotions in check, continue to serve with diligence, with attachment, with empathy, then you will do very well, because the planet is either the Lagna lord, here it is the Nakshatra lord, and placed in its own sign, though in the Dusthana. On the other hand, if the Lagna lord gets into the 8th house, say for the same example, where the ascendant is that of Aquarius, Saturn has gone into the 8th house, into the sign of Virgo. So here Saturn, because it rules both the 12th house as well as the Lagna, and now gone into the 8th house. However, Saturn is the Karaka of the 8th house. So here this will bring you more stability in overcoming challenges of life, overcoming turbulations of life, overcoming suddenness in life, issues in life. So Saturn is more protective of sudden expenses. It will help you be tight-fisted even when higher expenses will jolt you every now and then, and that is with the suddenness which the 8th house brings. Yet Saturn is more protective. So just because the Lagna lord and the Nakshatra lord go into the Dusthanas doesn't mean that all the challenges will be thrown at you. However, if they are friendly, if they are in strong placements, then they can get better results. However, the 6th house or the 8th house or the 12th house of expenses, waste, higher challenges, harder work that you need to get in to be able to get results will come to you, will jolt you, will disturb you every now and then. So depending on the placements, either it could be high challenge bringing or some gain bringing, or high gain bringing and some challenge bringing as well. Now the combination which got the highest votes, and I'm happy that a number of my viewers who are taking part in the poll, at least in the last few polls, are getting it right, because you're on the dot. More than 56-57% of the votes went to when the Lagna lord and the Nakshatra lord are placed in the 6-8 placement to each other, then they may throw up biggest challenges, and that is so true. I agree with you. The reason being is whichever houses they are placed, however best placements they are in, the Lagna lord and the Nakshatra lord are the most important planets in your horoscope. The Lagna lord is the Lagna lord. It also may be ruling 2 houses, and the Nakshatra lord has a lot of karmic debt energies, the karmic baggage energies. At the karmic level, there are certain responsibilities which are the foundation, which are the base, which are the DNA level. And so if these two, both the most strong energies, the most telling energies in your horoscope, when they get into 6 and 8 placements to each other, they will bring up their own set of challenges, they will bring up their own set of issues, losses, obstacles, suddenness of issues also. Say for a Leo ascendant native, we know that Sun is the Lagna lord, and if the Nakshatra lord is Moon, say for example Moon goes into the Nakshatra of Hasta, which it itself rules, and now if Sun is placed in the Lagna itself, in the Leo sign, but Moon goes into the 8th house in the Pisces sign, so here they are placed in a 6 and 8 relationship. Why? Moon is placed 8th from Sun, Sun is placed in the Lagna itself, Moon is placed in the 8th house from the Sun. However, Sun is placed in the 6th house when counted from the Moon. However, because the Moon has gone into the Pisces sign in the 8th house, so though Moon is better off in the friendly sign in Pisces, however, this can bring in a lot of emotional issues, lot of emotional frustrations. Suddenly something may come up because of which there are more challenges, and because of that, because the Lagna lord and Moon, which is the Nakshatra lord, and 6-8 relation to each other, the emotional upheavals put a spanner in your ability to be able to achieve goals. So whenever the Nakshatra lord or the Lagna lord are in 6-8 relations, one thing will always become a spanner for the other, and you will have to drop things and rush to solve the other challenges. On the other hand, for a Leo ascendant native, if Saturn is the Nakshatra lord, because moon has gone into the Nakshatra of, say for example, Anuradha, ruled by Saturn, and if Sun and Saturn are in 6-8 relationship to each other, where Saturn has now gone into the 6th house while Sun is still in the Lagna. Here Saturn has gone into the 6th house, into the Capricorn sign, which it itself rules, and Saturn is also the Karaka of the 6th house. So this is a slightly better placement than when Sun and Moon are in 6-8 relationship to each other, where Sun is in the Lagna and Moon is in the 8th house. So in spite of Saturn being in the 6th house, it could be more protective of that, because it is placed in its own sign. Saturn is also the Karaka of the 6th house. However, one will have to contend with competition, one have to contend with issues at service, and slow growth in work, slow growth and slow appreciation from your work. On the other hand, for the same Leo ascendant native, if Sun goes into the 4th house in Scorpio, and Saturn is still the Nakshatra lord, but Saturn has gone into the 11th house in the sign of Gemini. So now the Lagna lord has gone into the Scorpio sign in the 4th house. So the ability to make assets which the Lagna lord place in the 4th house can bring in, to make property, to be able to gain a lot of assets in your life, tangible assets, will be based on how you are able to contend with that work, because Saturn, which is also the Karak of career and work, and being the ruler of the 6th house as well as the 7th house, has gone into the 8th placement from the Sun, though in the 11th house. So ability to get good success, high success, working in a large organization or working in large causes, or having a strong network, being able to gain from society, being able to establish a good network in society, being able to raise to a situation where a lot of people know you, masses know you, huge gains come to you, mass appeal comes to you, great reputation comes to you, will be a challenge for you. So here, the Lagna lord being Sun, you'll have to work with utmost responsibility, utmost accountability, work long hours for years and years before results come to you, and the results may not come into the expectation or commensurate to the hard work that you have put in, the dedication, commitment and the loyalty you have put in. So this is surely an uphill task, where the Lagna lord and the Nakshatra lord are in 6-8 placement to each other. May not be the most trying of placements depending on which houses they go in, but definitely this can be a more challenge bringing placement than when a Nakshatra lord or the Lagna lord are either conjunct or in Kendra to each other, or in 1-7 relation to each other, or maybe they are the same planet as well. So friends, look into and understand how your Lagna lord versus your Nakshatra lord's placements are, how they are complementing each other's energies, how they are synergizing together, what houses they rule, what yogas or doshas they are in, and based on that and the relationship they have based on their placement to each other, they can bring in either great challenges, great opportunities, or bring issues, but even greatness if they come together as huge benefit bringing planets and rule good houses, maybe the Kendra houses, even the trine houses. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.